Three, two, one.
Father fish got buried in his substrate, setting up a new tank Christmas Eve. You can say there's no way he's down in there, but as for me and Mary, we believe. He'd been carrying too much sand now, and he tipped in with the bag. He wanted to make a deep bed, now he's fertilizing plants instead. When they found him in the morning, in that tank way in the back, he was beneficial down there. The plant roots were never ever looking back. Father fish got buried in his substrate, setting up a new tank Christmas Eve. You can say there's no way he's down in there, but as for me and Mary, we believe. Now we're all so proud of Mary. She's been taking this so well. See her sleeping in with Calvin, changing water and giving guppies crust eggshell. All our tanks suck without father. An inch of gravel now we hate. And we just can't help but wonder, should we haul those bags of sand and test our fate? Test our fate! Father fish got buried in his substrate, setting up a new tank Christmas Eve. You can say there's no way he's down in there, but as for me and Mary, we believe.
Yeah. I love it. Wonderful.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Joey, Cassie B, and Mary. Delighted to see you, ladies, and everyone in the chat. I see Lee is here in fine form this morning, as is everyone else. What I want to try to do at some point this morning is take you out and show you some of the critters we caught yesterday.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Out in the bay, we got some nice little fish. I'll try to get my phone set up so we can go do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy. Let's see. Cass, you were Wally back.
Good morning.
Wally back. Hello, Wally back.
I think that's Bonnie from Scotland.
From Scotland. No, from Bonnie, Scotland.
Oh, Bonnie. I thought maybe that was her name.
No, it's Wally back from Bonnie, Scotland.
Bonnie, Scotland.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fireline Neon is here.
Allergies.
Fishmar. Cassie. How does this? Oh, yeah, that was an interesting question. Paul C. wanted to know if substrate varies between different kinds of systems like ponds, tubs, small tanks, big tanks, and so forth. And it does. But it does really more as a personal preference than as an actual guideline. I find in bigger tanks, I do a deeper substrate. In smaller tanks, it's shallower. In outdoor ponds, I'm limited by the amount of sand I can afford to put it there or have the energy to put it. Kind of both, I guess. It works really well in outdoor ponds. It just tends to be difficult to get enough in a big pond to make a difference. Vats, a lot of people do vats in a lot of different ways. I find that in an outdoor vat, that an uncapped substrate tends to be a lot more productive. I think mainly because having dirt, leaf mulch, and such on the surface, going down into the subsoil, allows more life, allows for more microscopic kinds of animals to thrive. And if you're trying to breed fish in that vat, it's just a really helpful way to be able to set it up because it provides a maximum amount of natural food for the baby fish. So if you're doing outdoor ponds, I recommend not capping with sand, but putting dirt or mulch. Mulch is good. Put it in deep. Put it in like 6 inches, 4 inches anyway, and just leave it. It'll settle down. If you've got small fish in it. Now, if you're putting big fish, you can't do that. But for small fish, it's really ideal. It's much more natural kind of environment, and does, as I say, it creates a lot more microscopic life for baby fish to be able to thrive. So there are those kinds of issues. Let's see.
He kind of wanted to know if the sand caps vary between
Yeah.
like the bowls, the aquarium. And now you mentioned tubs. You don't need one really.
Well, yeah, it's really a personal preference. I tend to do more in bigger tanks, less in smaller tanks. I was talking about caps. Let's see.
Well, we see your larger tanks. I know in some of your videos you mentioned that as well, that you have like more sand in some of your larger tanks.
Right.
And then you maybe have like half of that in your smaller tanks.
Your larger tanks.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think it's really
And then
it's just a matter of personal preference. In a natural environment, um, there's no particular limit to the depth of the substrate. It'll go down to whatever the bedrock is, which might be clay. Don't know what that is. But it'll be deep. It'll be several feet deep. But too deep to really be able to replicate it in uh, any kind of environment we set up, any kind of system we set up. So we want to try to approximate it, but clearly, in a very large tank, you're going to have very big fish. So it becomes helpful to have a deeper substrate in that. And with very big fish, I tend not to do dirt. I tend just to do sand. If they are fish, if they're fish that dig up the substrate, like Central American cichlids. Um, Things like peacock bass don't, arowana don't. Other fish that get quite big, even red-tailed cats, don't dig up the bottom. But there are a lot of cichlids, Central American cichlids, that do dig up the bottom. They'll go right there, and African cichlids. A lot of Malawis will do that too. They'll dig right down to bedrock, right down to the glass or slate in the bottom of the tank, in order to create the kind of pit that they want to care for their fry or eggs or whatever. So in those cases, I don't use dirt because they just stir it all up too much.
Yeah. And I think you've not necessarily said you can never have too much. I think you've always just said you should have at least a minimum of 2 inches?
Well, 2 inches, excuse me. Yeah, 2 inches allows for uh, uh, at 2 inches of sand, oxygen will not naturally permeate below the 2 inch level, so it gives you an anaerobic environment below that 2 inches. And that's very desirable for being able to break down waste. So it's kind of a minimum.
Right.
Which in a bowl is unrealistic.
Yeah. It's difficult. Can be done.
If you're filling up a little 10-inch bowl and you got an inch of dirt and 2 inches of sand, that's 3 of the 10, 2 at the top is 5, so you've got a 5-inch window. It may not be to your liking.
Right.
You may find that it's not a way you want to be able to maintain your bowl. So in those cases, you do with a little less. And try to make it work, and it does fine as a rule.
I saw a video one time that suggested 6 inches of substrate in order to get that anaerobic layer.
Well, if you're using gravel, you have to do that.
I think it was sand though, but the guy was kind of contradicting himself a little, and it wasn't like a clear video. And that was in larger aquariums too, like maybe 50 and up.
Yeah, right. Alex is saying he has a bowl with 5 inches, probably half a gallon for 2 pygmy sunfish. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. And what's interesting with pygmy sunfish, they typically live in the wild. They live in an inch or less of water. They live right on the edge of the water as plants emerge from the water. The whatever mat is growing there, they'll be right up in that, right up to the edge. So they may be in half an inch or less of water, and living most of their lives in that shallow water. It protects them from predation, for one thing. And their behavior is such that they don't swim around. They kind of dart. They don't swim like this. They go, they dart around. They lay on the bottom and they dart. So if something gets near them, near enough to be a danger, they'll dart out of the way. And again, they do it in shallow water. In fact, that's how you catch them. You set a net down about a foot out from the bank and splash the water. That's the splasher I was talking about yesterday. You splash the water and they dart into the net. That's about the only way to really be able to catch them in any quantity. You'll look out and get one once in a while pushing a net along, but typically you won't. Lee's referring to here Fishy's video as oh, I lost the comment. Lost the comment. Oh well.
You were looking for a Lee comment? Is that it?
Jump on you.
You're getting a lot of comments.
Yeah.
A lot of comments.
Chris had a question at 8:10, and Bates and Genetics at 8:11, commenting about what you mentioned with the sand cap / dirt cap in his Fahaka burrowing in the sand.
Well, Bateson was talking about the Fahaka burrowing in the sand.
Yeah, we're wondering about that.
Well, they don't go deep. Keep in mind now that a Fahaka can be a pretty big fish, but they don't go down below their body depth. They are right at that surface so that their eyes are not buried. Their eyes are at the top of their head, and they sit out so they're looking around and being covered by the sand. So you want to consider that when you set up a substrate. They're not going to go burrowing down beyond the depth of their body, which may be like 2 or 3 inches.
So they're camouflaging themselves down in that substrate, sort of?
They're hiding. Little of both, I guess. Yeah. Camouflage and hiding, yeah. And they're a lurking feeder. So they wait until something gets close enough that they can dart out at it.
So like an ambush predator, sort of.
Like an ambush, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Chris is asking what kind of sand: filter sand, sand fill, septic bed sand, coarse sand, um, gravel pits. It doesn't matter. Gravel doesn't work as well unless you get it deeper. So you want something relatively fine. Uh, the there's a line between sand and gravel that is maybe ill defined or difficult to define. Um, generally, the finer the sand, the better. I have used art sand, which is extremely fine. Concrete concrete sand is very fine. Use that, and it works extremely well. It has a lot of dust in it, needs to be rinsed. The art sand doesn't, but the concrete sand does. Concrete sand's pretty dusty, so you need to rinse that pretty thoroughly. Otherwise, you're going to clog up the tank, the water column, and it will be bad enough that it'll affect the fish. It'll affect their gills. So you need to be careful about that if you're using a superfine sand, to make sure you rinse it first and get the dust out of it. Now, if you're setting the tank up, I'm putting the sand in before you put the water in. You don't need to rinse it. You simply put a towel or a plate or something on top of the sand as you fill it, so that you're not going to stir it up. And you use superfine sand that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple bags of fine sand that I didn't like.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to throw it out, so I did a couple layers. I did the dirt, I did the fine sand, then I did a coarser sand, and that worked out. And
Yeah, that's fun.
to use it, but not have it get into the filter system.
Yeah. I've used the fine sand as the top dress, and I kind of like it. I like the look of it, and I find that it works very effectively. It just you'd think the finer it would prevent the malm from going down in it, but it doesn't at all.
Yeah.
Malm is pretty fine stuff.
I think it maybe depends on the fish, because I have fish that move things around more. And
Well, that's true,
why
too.
I did it the opposite.
Yeah. Good
I
point.
did what you did, Joey. I had the fine, and then I didn't like it, so I added whatever I had on top.
But if
So I
you're
added
doing
pool filter on top.
Yeah, if you're doing smaller fish, more like a nano fish that's not constantly disturbing, on top, great. But I've done it in some of my goldfish tanks, and I have to do the coarser on the top.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Well, I tried it, and then I capped it with a different sand.
Yep. So many different ways, right?
You betcha. Yeah, whatever works. Concrete sand colored. Yeah, I do too. It is darker. Bateson is talking. He said he likes the color of the concrete sand.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed Tractor Supply has two grades of their sandblasting sand? They have a fine and they have a coarse.
Yes, the black. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually get the finer, but yeah, either are good.
So if somebody's looking for a choice, they have two different kinds.
Yeah,
for black,
sand. Right. Yeah, and those same distinctions are available in the sand colored sand. If you get swimming pool filter sand,
yes,
that's a coarser grain, and the concrete sand or play sand is a finer grade.
Yep.
Again, with the finer grades, you get a lot of dust. So it's not something that you want to pour through your tank. You can do that with the pool filter sand. It has some dust in it, but it's really not much. And it's not enough to create a problem in the tank. You can dump it right out of the bag, right through the water column. It will cloud it a bit, but it'll clear up in a few hours.
I've done it. You can do
yeah,
it. Yeah.
it's not a problem. Yeah, it clears up real well.
Yeah.
Has anyone done the Seacom's fluorite black sand? Any of you guys?
I'm getting some kind of static.
Funny.
Yeah, I'm getting static or something.
Are y'all hearing that?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure out. But I
Yeah,
It just stopped.
unplugged my thing and it kept doing it.
it just
so-
stopped. I don't know what it was. I missed the last question. What
What
was?
were you asking, Cass?
You guys couldn't hear me?
No.
Oh, on 819, Papa Shrimp Aquatics is asking, what are your thoughts on Seacom's fluorite black sand?
$8.19. Seacom's fluoride. I don't know. I've never used it. I get tanks in occasionally that have some of these products. They're typically simply mined products that are bagged. There's nothing especially unique about them other than the name that's put on the label.
And the price.
And the price, yeah, and thereby the price, right?
Yeah.
What about crushed granite?
Yeah, crushed granite or crushed what's the other stuff? Not marble. Crystal. What is the crystal?
Quartz.
Quartz. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, crushed granite or crushed quartz, which is what most sand is.
Right.
And it's inert. So long as it's inert, it's not going to be a problem. Crushed coral would be an example of a sand that is not inert, in that it dissolves. It's calcium based, and it tends to dissolve in the water, which is fine if you want to maintain hard water. The only issue is it can crust over. The coral at the surface can dissolve enough that it forms a crust, a hard crust on the surface that water cannot permeate. And the whole purpose of the sand is to create a semi-permeable kind of layer that water will be able to flow through, albeit very slowly. You want it flowing slowly. It's with gravel or even rock, the water will flow through much more quickly, which makes it impossible then, unless you go really very deep, to be able to establish an anaerobic layer. And that's really critical. That's one of the main reasons for doing the cap. There are several. Now, the thing about the cap is that it's a construct that has grown out of working with dirted tanks. It's not something that, for example, Diana Wallstead talks very much about. Most of her dirted tanks are not capped. She does some of that and does explain the importance of it in terms of being able to create anaerobic properties. I think there are a number of other important reasons that I've discovered for the deep sand cap on deep substrate. The primary one of which is it keeps the nutrients that are in the substrate down in the substrate and does not allow them. Kind of works both ways. If you think about water going in, and as it gets down further and further, the oxygen's burned off and it hits a layer where there's no longer oxygen. That's one direction. The other direction is the nutrients are working their way up through the sand if that sand is deep enough, they won't get very far. They'll get maybe halfway and not be able to get all the way out, which means that you'll be keeping those nutrients down in the substrate and out of the water column, such that if you have plants like anubias, Java fern, and the like, uh, Salvini, any plant that takes nutrients out of the water column, that will they will deplete or work toward the depletion of the water column of nutrients. Obviously, food, fish urine, plant deterioration, all of those things create more nutrients in the water column. It's never a pure state. It's never unless you've got a very deep sand bed with water rushing over it continuously and driving everything down under the sand. In that case, you can have pretty pure water, but otherwise, it's going to have some nutrients. The key, though, is to control that, to have fewer nutrients in the water column than in the substrate. Now, there's one other thing that's important about all that, and it's come up a number of times, and I don't feel like I've dealt with it effectively. That's the issue of CO2. CO2 is a critical component of plant growth. CO2 injection provides a CO2 level that is not naturally available in the water column in order to be able to provide that support for plant growth. A deep substrate creates more CO2 than more carbon dioxide than can be injected in the water with a CO2 system. So a deep substrate actually provides a higher level of CO2 than can be artificially induced into the tank. And that CO2 is taken up then by the roots of the plants and acts as a carbon builder for the plant. So, in answer to the question, do you need CO2 injection in a deep substrate tank? No, you do not. The CO2 created by the substrate will be a greater volume of CO2 than you could even possibly put in the water column. What else we got here, ladies?
I don't know. I was in top chat, so I don't know if I missed stuff.
It's just, I think it's more not necessarily questions. It's just a lot of people talking about the same things. Like somebody saying, we use fluoride. Some Chris saying crushed granite is fine. Just things going along in that manner, I believe, unless I've missed something.
And I missed whatever Lee was talking about. I think Lee's worried about his tank and the fish and buckets.
Yeah, he's worried about redoing his tank.
Do not take those fish out. You don't need to take them out, Lee. Leave them in there.
I'm on your page, but everybody has a different way.
Sharpies is saying they'll do fine in buckets for an hour or two with a sponge filter.
Yeah, but there's no need to do it. You're not tearing out the substrate.
Right.
Oh,
If you were ripping out the substrate, you would need to do it. All you're doing is taking some plants out and putting some other plants in. There is absolutely no need whatsoever to move those fish. You run the risk of stressing them by doing so.
Right.
Totally unnecessary.
Yeah, they'll be stressed out putting them in buckets and catching them.
You're going to stress them more catching
why put them through that? Why put the fish through that?
Fish. And
you won't hurt them.
You're overthinking.
You won't hurt them, but you'll stress them out. That's just a fact. You'll stress them out doing that. You'll stress them out anyways, but maybe a little less keeping them in the tank.
Yeah.
I didn't say you would kill your fish. I just said that's a lot. You're doing a lot at once.
He'll follow Father Fish's instructions. We know he will. He'll do good. You're not
That's
gonna.
why I suggested keeping some of your plants in as a background plant so you're not ripping out everything.
Right.
I think Papa Shrimp needs a wrench.
There we go. We can do that.
Sorry, I'm just reading Amber's comment.
I know about running down the road.
I did want to let you know, since we're talking about Lee, and he came up yesterday and offered me all that positivity and sent it my way. And I did want to let you know that everything went good with the scan. So it must have helped, whatever you guys did. I was calm and it was fast. It was a scan around my head. And I just had memories of being like in the chest scan. Yeah. The chest scan is terrible. Because I sat there for so long and you can't move. And like the people were like in another room and you can't talk to anybody. That one is stressful. The chair was easy. And everything came out good and my scans looked really good. So
J-Dog just said he fixed my website.
Yeah, thank you. I'll take that.
Now I have to see a neurologist.
Yeah.
Right.
Are good. Gotta go see a brain doctor.
Well,
we'll see. We'll see if getting blood work though. We'll see what the blood work says.
Yeah. What did you say about J-Dog Fatherfish? I missed it.
Oh, he said he fixed my website.
Oh, nice. Well, I don't know what was wrong.
Yeah. What does fixed mean?
I have no idea.
He says that, and I go check that out, and I'm like, you need more stuff on your website, Fatherfish.
Right, I do. Working on it. That was what we were trying to get together, was a system to be able to do that. Oh, fish more.
I didn't say Fatherfish was wrong. Listen to Fatherfish.
I think Fishmart had a comment above about the CO2 at 827, then was following up with another comment after that about the CO2 injection.
Big City Betta. Trying to get the trash out.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at.
That is funny, yeah. Great.
Sorry, Amber. I was laughing at you. Laughing at you.
Flip-flops, messy bun gym shorts, and a tie-dye t-shirt, yelling, "Stop, stop!"
I wish I could have seen it.
Oh my
God.
Dragging a trash bin through 4 inches of snow.
I'm sorry.
Really?
Be fun.
I know.
I had to take it out yesterday. Luckily, the trash people come so late that I was able to take it out like midday, and it was still fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I admit we didn't take the recycling out for about a month because every Monday night they come Tuesday morning. It was pouring, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking that out. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So I swear it was a month. It was just recycling though, so it wasn't a big deal.
I get more recycles though than trash.
Me
so
too.
The recycles have to go. I need 2 bins for the recycles.
But at least this time of year they don't get smelly. Cause up here, because it's cool.
No, but the recycles come first thing in the morning. If we don't have that out, and like we miss them.
You don't get a second chance. Yeah.
But we get Wednesday, Saturday for trash. I need that for recycles. I don't know why they do that. Do they not realize like most people have more recycles? Because that stuff doesn't like compress.
I don't.
I get it what burns me. Our local trash supplier, which is run by the city, refuses to pick up wet garbage, like food scraps. They won't do plastic bags and food scraps. They will open the can, and if they smell garbage, they won't take it. Now,
in the recycle bin or the trash bin? Which one are you talking about?
In the trash bin.
If
Well,
they smell food?
food, yeah. Food waste.
Really?
Really.
Yeah, all
They
the
will not
time.
take, they will not take garbage,
Huh.
wet food, food garbage,
Yeah.
which seems absolutely, I mean, what is garbage if it's not garbage?
Right.
You know, they will take, they won't even really take plastic bottles. They don't take plastic bags. So, it's gotten to the point where you have to treat your trash as though it's some kind of high value product.
It's a secret. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They do
Uh,
that for the recycles up in Maryland. My mom has to go through all kinds of hoops with
I
her
know the
recycles.
whole thing is absolutely outrageous
Yeah.
because it all goes to the same dump.
They
Right.
don't do that by me. I have no rules. So you need to move over here to the East Coast, Fatherfish.
Oh no, we have rules, but
I have none.
my town
They
sells
take it.
actual trash bags. So for your what I call stinky trash, you need to buy their trash bag, and then they will take it, and then the recycling they pick up for free. But we have a dumpster at the shop, so I just take the stinky stuff to the dumpster, and I put out the recycling.
Yeah, they don't check
But,
dumpsters, right?
yeah, but most people have to buy those trash bags for the
Maybe.
actual trash.
Wow. I don't know. That's a new one to me about the food waste in your trash.
I
Yeah,
throw it out to
food
my
waste,
crows.
right.
I did
throw the
something.
food
I put a chicken. I think I had to throw out like a chicken breast because it went bad, and I threw that. So that was pretty smelly, and I threw that away the night before, and the raccoons got into the trash can and made a mess.
I just put all that stuff out for the critters. Any food I throw out in a certain spot, and they kind of get it, and I feed the crows and whatever. That's what I do with my extra food. Figure I can feed something with it.
We've got Lee all in a frenzy for some reason.
Yeah, I'm about to put the kibosh on it here. Gonna bring down the hammer here.
Just listen to Father Fish. I'm just
Don't be
saying
nervous,
shut them
Nellie.
out.
Just do it.
All
I
right,
don't know.
8:34.
I don't
I know what to do. Actually, does know what to do. What is that?
What?
I don't know. Every once in a while it gets real
The noise?
staticky.
I'm hearing it too, and I even plugged my speaker, and it's still doing it. So I thought it was
A
me.
little. I don't know what it is.
It's only once in a while. It just
Yep. It's like a buzz and then a tapping
It
sound.
might,
Bit,
it might be me.
Yeah.
It might be because I had my cell phone by my mic. Let me move that.
you think you're getting a little.
Sorry.
Feedback. That could be.
I'm gonna take
That'll
that.
do
Okay,
it.
I think that's what it is.
I normally keep my cell phone on this side, and it was by the mic.
Hey, Dead Fred. Good to see you.
Fred.
Good morning, Fred. Say it there. Let's say it there. Good morning, Patrick.
So, Father Fish, give your friendly speech to Lee, like you did to that one lady when she asked about, will my snails die?
Lee has had a lot of hand holding along the way.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that. I was being honest and saying you're going to stress him out.
Oh, no, I agree. Catching them and putting them in a bucket and then putting them back, I feel would be more stressful.
That would be more stressful.
Yeah.
Choose your poison, Lee. Which cocktail do you want to feed your fish today?
I don't know quite how to help here exactly.
Your plants are going to die if you don't put them in.
Bateson says Lee's snails will be mad at him.
So make sure you bought all your new plants, or at least the bulk of them, before you take the old plants out. And then just start doing start on one side of the tank and work across to the other. Just start pulling out plants on one side and replacing them with whatever it is you have to replace them with, and kind of move it along that way. That way, the tank will never be empty of plants. It will have, relatively speaking, the same amount of plants in it as it did 10 minutes before. So just try that. We're starting on one side of the tank. You've got your plan. You know what you're going to put where. So you're all set with that. Just start pulling plants out on one side and immediately replant. If you're going to put plants in that spot, then do it right then, as soon as that spot is empty. And then work your way across. And that should work out just fine. And by the time you're finished, you will be an emotional and physical wreck. So you'll be able to sit down, take a drink of something sufficiently strong to slow you down, and spend an hour looking at the tank and admiring your handiwork. And it will be an utter and thoroughgoing delight. I know. Just
I agree.
do it. Do it. Do it.
Wholeheartedly, I agree.
Just do it. We're here for you, Lee. We've got your back.
We may joke along the way, but we love you.
We're kidding.
You're going to be fine, and it will end up, and it will be beautiful.
Really?
We have to get a little bit of laughing in. I do.
But
anyway.
we've been there. I've been there and done it and left the fish in. I do things slow. So I don't do it all at once. I do little bits here and there. And Father Fish has said, if you're going to do it slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gently wiggle those plants out. Don't just...
Right.
Well, but don't rescape everything all at once. That's what I meant by I go slow when I'm rescaping.
Right. Take a little water out because you're going to have your hand in there. So you don't want to have so much water it's going to displace. And you don't want to splash it around. So drop the water level down a few inches. That'll help.
Agreed. Yeah.
He said, I did not use that word. Okay.
What's he blaming you for now?
Cindy rewatched it and played it back with Sue and said, I said.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
And I don't remember saying that. I'm sorry if I did.
Cass said I was dumb. I will stretch my. I have never heard Cass use such language in my life. She is a vastly more genteel and sophisticated lady than to use a word like dumb.
And I might say the action is dumb, but not the person.
Father Fish, Fireline Neon has just a nice comment at 8:42. It says, I think looking at my tanks is what's getting me through this crazy year. I appreciate you all for being here with me on this deeper dive on my aquatics journey. Just a nice statement.
Thank you, Joey.
You're welcome.
Planting mint in an aquarium. Oh, that's funny.
So, yeah, there's a word going around in 4th grade that kids are already using. And I'm like, really? It starts in 4th grade?
Oh, you wouldn't believe the stuff that starts in grade school. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Shelter your child. You have them just the way you think you want them, and then they go to kindergarten. And it's...
Well, shelter your child, and then they go to 4th grade. I'm like, I guess they're going to get exposed to it. And so my son is dealing with it by just ignoring it and then talking to his friends. I'm like, because I told him, I'm like, do you want to point out that that's not nice when they say that? And he's like, no. Then they'll come after me. He's like, I just ignore it and talk to my friends.
Yeah. My son's first day of kindergarten.
Probably good.
His dad's putting him to sleep, and Joe says, "This is kindergarten." He says, "Dad, what's French kissing?"
Models Bruce.
And Ray just said to him, "Joe, that's something, something for adults or something." He's like, "I don't think you'll ever." He says, "I only ever kiss Mom," and Ray says, "Yeah, I don't think you'll be needing that. You're good." That was his first day of kindergarten. It's like, and it just went downhill from there. So
yeah.
Kids are kids.
Kids say stuff and they don't have a clue what they're talking about.
Oh no, absolutely. Nobody knew what that meant. They were just using it,
My fish did not die when I pulled out some plants.
Ew.
I did do some recent activity, and I did tell Father Fish yesterday that I lost a Cory after doing.
Yeah, that's right, you did.
Well,
but I don't know if that was because of the plants or just the Cory was just not doing good in general.
I'm going to say with you, Cassie, it could possibly have just been a coincidence. There is that. And then Al Westsock says basically when he he had to suck on a bar of soap when he swore when he was a kid.
Yeah, right.
Your mouth washed out with soap. Yep.
My mom did do that to us one time.
Hey, Rattletrap. Nice to see you.
You know what I did?
What?
Because they thought they were smart by pursing their lips, so I took the hand pump soap.
Oh.
Got them. And they didn't do it again.
Uh-oh, I'm getting a name. Don't start with names.
Oh, Cory Killer. She is not. It could have just been what I said. It could have actually just been a coincidence.
Cassie be the Cory Killer. Oh, dear.
Good morning, Rattletrap.
Steven's here with us this morning.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, Steven.
He's been away for a bit. He does that, though.
Mm-hmm. I think he gets busy.
Yeah, he was in last night. We had a really interesting stream last night. Stephen was pretty deeply involved. Petra, man.
I see.
You're really in trouble here, Cassie. I don't know.
He's just trying to stand up for Lee.
I know.
So I don't really see a question. We're all just chatting back and forth.
Yippee-ki-yay,
got funny things to say, and
Yeah, I'm leaving early though. I'm leaving at 9.
Yeah, you're being driven off, I think.
Maybe. Might be a good time to go. Mary's not talking because she thinks she'll just interrupt all of us.
Well, she could talk. I know she's being very silent
Mary.
today.
Come on, Mary.
She's commenting on the stream. Yeah, she's very strong in the chat. That's right.
I mean, she can out.
Yeah, y'all. I just hang out to be in the chat.
She does hear us.
I know she does. But it's like she can outdo me in the chat every day of the week. I don't have that skill.
I'm trying to get everybody to hit that like button because we got 62 watching right now. That would be awesome.
All right, here we go.
I don't want to
we're going to figure out what to do here. Lee is raising an issue that we need to address. Okay, here's the issue. The issue is if there are varying opinions on a given subject or a given issue, then we need to have a ranking order of who to listen to first and who to listen to last.
Oh boy.
So let me simply say this about that. If by the end of the conversation I have not been dissuaded in my comment, then I stand behind my comment and will accept full responsibility for it's for following its edicts. In other words, if there are 3 or 4 other people, and this comes up fairly frequently, with varying opinions, and it's something you're trying to figure out, what do I do? And if and you're in Father Fish's stream, and Father Fish says thus and such, if by the end of the conversation I'm still saying thus and such, then I will stand behind that. And I would then recommend that you do what I'm suggesting. Now there are caveats to that, and you've got to be smart enough to figure them out. Stephen, the biologist, for example, will very often come up with therapeutic solutions to problems that are um, not solutions that I would recommend. They nevertheless are typically the appropriate response, or at least a highly appropriate response. So consider the source, number one, and number two, if if all things are equal and you have to make a choice, choose what I'm saying, and then you get to beat me up if I'm wrong. And I'm happy to have you do that. If I fail you in what I say, if it doesn't work out, then by all means, come at me with it, because I want to know. This is as much a learning experience for me as it is for anyone else. But I will stand behind what I say. So if in the final analysis it's a struggle between me and 2 or 3 other people, and I've held my ground and haven't backed down, then I will stand by that, and you may be confident in standing there with me, in the knowledge that I'm probably right, and if I'm wrong, I'll take the blame. So have at it, Lee. Go for it, and by all means, in the final analysis, make your own mind up, because that's really what it has to come down to.
Mm-hmm.
None of us here have authority over what you do in your fish room. None of us. No one
Correct.
anywhere ever has authority over what you do in your fish room. You are the expert. You are the master of your fish room. What you decide is what happens. So you get the best advice and information you can, and you move forward and you adapt accordingly. So, yeah, Lee,
Yeah.
just do it. You're a smart man. Figure it out.
But I really appreciate the last bit you said, Father Fish. So that
Yes.
I really do.
That we all can do what we want in our own fish.
Yeah,
rooms,
absolutely.
It's okay.
That's what we do anyways. We
Yeah,
there's
there's no right or wrong. There's what I do. And what I do is what I do. And if it's wrong, I correct it. And if it's right, I try to remember to do it again.
Lee says he missed it.
I can say from my own experience, I've done exactly what Lee is doing and had no problems. I've completely rearranged the tank with the fish in it, and it's been fine, and I've done it more than once. But it does have to be, in the end, what you're comfortable with.
Alex is saying, I stand by my comments in my videos about doing this with an established team. So much that I will give you a big fish.
Right. And he would be delighted to ship fish from Seattle, Washington to Portsmouth, England.
That won't be expensive at all.
Not a bit of it.
And Lee wants
We'll hold you to it, Alex.
And Lee wants you to redo your speech because he went to the toilet.
Who didn't know? You go back and listen to it.
It's like, oh Lord.
You'll
but I
get
think Joey and I did not disagree with Father Fish. We're standing behind what he said.
Absolutely, because I've done it numerous times, and but still, it is what you decide you can live with. What can you do and live with in your fish room?
And I'm just saying what Father Fish said to me. Don't do it all at once.
Well, that's an idea too.
Yeah, Dead Fred, success won't always evade you. Good point. Good point.
I don't think it has. He's been very successful. He just wants to mix it up a little. And I support that.
Yeah, he's doing fine. He's just being cantankerous.
He'll be fine.
As is his wont.
He's looking for confidence.
No, he's just looking to be a hard ass.
Do you need us to rub your shoulders here? Go, get it done.
Or something.
Go in the ring. Now it's your turn.
Where are we? 8:55. I think that's a good point. Good time for a break here.
Good time for a coffee break.
Really, we need to get off this onto something else.
Let's play a song.
Let's do a tune, song. Right? A tune, tune.
So we can all leave.
My kingdom for a tune. We'll do it. What do you want to hear?
What do we want to hear?
Basketball.
What are you singing?
I don't know.
That basketball.
What?
Play a happy song.
Hey, you asked for a tune. That's what came to my head.
A Cassie
well,
song.
I mean, if you want to sit there and sing while we get coffee, Cassie, you're welcome to.
I need headphones, though, because I sing better when I'm hearing the lyrics.
Here we go.
Coffee breaks. Everybody's going for coffee. I'm leaving. When we got this back, I'm going.
All right.
I found my way.
There we go.
Found my way to Father Fish. He comes on in the morning every day. Add some soil, cap it with sand, then add plants. He will help you do it the right way. Add some fish, then walk away. Feed them high quality food. Thy food is best. Keep it dirted, keep it all natural. I found my way back to Father Fish. Bye, all.
When I find myself in times of tank trouble, Father Fish, he comforts me. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my time of darkness, he is streaming right in front of me. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Add some sand and let it be. Father's words of wisdom, let it be. When all the broken-hearted fishes living in the tank agree, there is an answer, let it be. For though it may be cloudy, there is still a chance that they can see. There is an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Add some sand and let it be. There is an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. sand and let it be. Father's words of wisdom, let it be.
Yes. Well, let's do this.
Ever visit a place that was so different you just didn't want to leave? Step into the amazing world of Father Fish Aquarium. You'll be mesmerized by his exotic collection of saltwater and freshwater creatures, tanks and accessories, plus birds, lizards, turtles, and more. You'll never find another place like it on dry land. Father Fish Aquarium, 536 East Venice Avenue. You won't want to go home.
Yeah. We're back.
We are back.
I ran people off. That's been that basketball song.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
And yeah, I had that thing memorized. Now I'm like, I've got it 90% memorized.
Well, it's just locked in your head.
I wonder if my kids, when I'm like singing song after song and like I know like every lyric almost, I wonder if they wonder, how does she do that?
Well, they're probably listening to you and learning them also.
I'm hoping like one day they'll be there with me.
It's in there. They're just not using it yet.
Right.
Well, they're probably listening to you and learning them also.
I'm hoping.
We needed that a second time.
I think children don't look at parents and think, how does she do that? I think they take rather the reverse, that is somehow normal and they could expect to be able to do that. It's modeling, really. I think children do model themselves after their parents, particularly when their parents are doing something that's remarkable. It makes it accessible to them, makes it something achievable.
Mm-hmm.
There is hope
I'm
after.
hoping I'm grooming singers.
Yeah.
Look, there's that stage where they're young and they look up to you and they think you're so smart. Then they hit the teenager age and you are dumb. You don't know anything.
That's right. Suddenly
eventually they come back around when they're adults.
At least, well, 50% maybe. 50.
Yeah.
But then it gets back to the beginning. Then it goes all the way back to, well, mom. When mom is 94 and the daughter is 75, mom, don't do that.
Well, then they reverse the role. Then they start telling you what to do.
Exactly right. Yeah, my roommate's daughter has come for an extended visit. She's in for a couple of weeks, and Leonard is he really did not want her to come. She's very sweet and very loving and very bossy.
Because he knew.
He knew. Yeah, you bet he did. And I was saying, Lee, she wants to come see you. Let her come see you.
Yeah, it's okay.
He's decided. Yeah,
he said, well, it's too early. He said, it's too early. We might get sick. I don't want her to get sick. Just don't travel. Don't get sick. Just stay. Any excuse he could make.
I say that didn't work.
No, it didn't work. And she's in Corpus Christi, so she finally showed up at the door. And then it was too late. So she's here. She is cooking. She ain't cleaning, but she's cooking.
She's not cleaning her pots and pans. Is that what you're saying?
No, she does that, but the bathroom that hadn't been cleaned in 6 months still has to be cleaned. You know. Well, so she's doing that, but she's making it very nice and pleasant. She's a sweet lady. Very sweet lady.
Well, you probably like the cooking, if nothing else.
Well, she fixed a pot roast last night that was quite nice. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, don't complain about the cooking.
Not a bit of it. Not a bit of it. Alec the Nice is with us.
Was that
Now the
today,
other ones come
Stephen?
up.
Did you hear that today? I missed it.
What?
But Alex has got your back.
Alec the Nice.
Hello,
I know
Bogey
they're
and
just all of a
Bacall.
sudden like, I want to be up there. I want to be up there.
Well, we can post a link if anybody wants to show us their tank or
Take my place. Let me go. I'm like, I don't need to go right away, but I don't want to be late to my appointment for.
Oh, you have an appointment this morning?
Yeah, I think at 10. I just
Yeah,
don't
if
want
you
to be
need
late.
to go.
she's taking her cat to the vet.
Okay, I mean, if you feel you need to go.
You never know what comes up, and that time goes so fast, right?
I admit you don't know about traffic. Yeah.
Then I might not be able to get her in the carrier.
There's that.
I'll be like,
Yeah, right. How about that?
get out from under the bed.
That could suck up 10 minutes trying to get her in the carrier.
I don't know if she was laying with me in the middle of the night or if it was the brother, but I woke up one night and somebody was like pressed up against my legs. I don't think they must have been cold.
Okay, you need to stop.
Yeah.
He just jumped up there, almost knocked my coffee over. I'm like, you need to stop.
MBS, multiple Betta syndrome.
You need to stop.
I think it's my cat's time. I just don't know how to approach that with the vet. So we're going to hopefully try something very minimal and not expensive.
Yeah, that's what I did with Tom. I changed his food. That was the big thing. To a food that was, because his kidneys were failing. So we changed him to a food that prolonged his kidney life, and that worked. I think about 2 years actually. So he got another year, and that's not what brought him down. What brought him down was um, his back legs quit working. He couldn't walk anymore.
I might bring her to you
Arthritis
next weekend to help me with her father.
Oh dear.
Because if my vet doesn't help me, I might need your help.
Well,
I don't want to see her go, and she's sweet, but I just think it's her time. I think her body.
Well, when she reaches the point where she can't function, that's
coming to that.
She's
still eating, but she sounds like living death.
Yeah, but let it come to that. I mean, let it be there. That's what I did with Tom when he reached the point where it was no longer possible for him to function. Then that was it. But prior to that, I was willing to let him kind of, languish around and be mopey and slow. And he had arthritis real bad, and it was a struggle for him to move. He hadn't run in some time, and he used to run a lot.
I think she's struggling a bit to breathe. It's that. It's like
Yeah. Well, that's harrowing when that happens.
Yeah.
It really makes you worry.
That's why I think it's her time. I'm not certain anything's going to help at this point.
Yeah.
But
Nicholas has a question.
He has to take his cat to the vet too. And Alex said we need to talk about fish.
Well, I was just going to say, Nicholas has a question.
And so
he says, can we talk about bettas a bit? I want to get one, but not sure what size tank I want for it. Thinking about a 5-gallon.
Can I address James real quick about the GH? I think let Petraman help you with the GH question. Unless Father Fish wants to talk about it.
No, it's okay. That's fine. Is Petraman here?
Yeah. Well, unless he left.
Well, he was.
James wanted to know about water hardness before Nick's question, but talk whatever you want to talk about.
Go, Joey. What did you have?
Nicholas just is thinking about getting a Betta, and he wants to know what size tank. He's thinking about a 5-gallon, and your opinion after that.
Yeah, that's a good size tank if you want to do that. Try to set it up so it's a natural environment, because you should not do any kind of moving water in it. So you don't want to put a filter in it. Now, if you're dead set to do it, get a little tiny sponge filter and put it in slow, just a few bubbles, nothing really crazy. They don't like moving water, but the sponge filter works pretty well. Otherwise, you want an inch of dirt, 2 inches of sand, planted heavily, um, and then try to feed live food as much as you can. The benefit of that, if you do worms, for example, is they will establish a colony in the tank, and that'll provide ongoing food for the bettas. So once you're there, you can feed a lot less routinely. Bettas can languish, and they languish for any number of reasons. They don't languish from old water, curiously, because they typically live in old water. That is to say, they'll live in a pond that doesn't get much water change year and year on. So it'll be kind of hard and yucky and not very new, shall we say, kind of yellow and old, but healthy. Yeah, a 5 gallon tank would be fine. Just set it up so that you think it's nice. Try to get some plants in it. Um, you can do dirt right to the top with a thin layer of sand. The bed is not going to muck it up. And if you decide you want to put a female in there and get a spawn going, then the babies will be able to thrive in that tank, and the father at least will care for them, so he's not going to eat them up. And that's a nice thing to do, to be able to raise a, a school of bettas in a little tank. They do quite well.
Yeah, I'm green with Amber. That it kind of depends on the betta fish behavior. Some like to swim more, and some are a little bit slower and lazy. So kind of depends on your betta too.
Yeah, right. Depends. Yeah. Think about what kind of betta you want. Look around. Try to make a choice
Sorry.
that would be reasonable. And the other thing to consider is whether you want to breed him, because if you keep a betta for a while, you really ought to try to breed it. It opens up an experience that is really incomparable in fish keeping in general, and certainly in betta keeping. Um, I mean, they're pretty fish and all, but boy, having a nest built and having babies and watching them as they're able to take care of those babies, it's and to watch the breeding behavior, it's all absolutely remarkable.
I have a female in my 2 gallon right now, and she is ready to go. She's got her nest. She is full of eggs, and she's just like, please, please, find me somebody. But I'm like, I'm afraid the female will kill the male. I don't want to put the male in there.
No, she'll want to breed. If she's got eggs, she'll want to breed. Yeah. I've got her. If you make it this weekend, I just got a whole bunch of new male bettas, so you'll be able to pick out a pretty one.
I've got one little male, and the other male, he's healthy, he's fine. He just lost his color. I don't know if I want to breed him or not. He's got a little bubble nest, and she's got her bubble nest.
Huh.
They're both like wanting to be put together, I think.
Nice.
I think they've enjoyed the space heater in the room. I've been keeping the fishy bedroom nice and toasty warm.
I'm not sure, Chalupa, I'm not sure if they're commenting or asking a question, it says, I never heard about the nitrogen cycle needing 5 gallons.
I don't know. 5 gallons?
Where are you?
I'm at 914 Chalupa.
Like maybe that's the smallest setup to like do the deep sand. I don't know.
We're not sure,
Yeah,
Chalupa.
not sure.
We're not sure. What you mean?
If it's a question or a state, I'm not sure.
About nitrogen cycle occurring in 5 gallons. It'll occur in a teacup. It'll occur in a thimble of water. The volume is irrelevant. It's a chemical process, biological chemical process that occurs in all bodies of water. It's got to do with bacteria. So if it's large enough to hold bacteria, which an eyedropper is, you can have nitrogen cycle going on in an eyedropper.
But also, Ocean Aquarium, we were talking about the substrate and how much sand earlier, and I don't know if you want to talk about it. Like, you want to talk about their bettas, and they put them in Starbucks cups and fill that with like 5 inches of sand.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do that, mainly because I tend to want to clean a small bowl. If I've got bettas in a little bowl, I'm going to want to be able to clean it easily. Um, and if you've got 5 inches of sand, you really can't do that. You set up a more or less permanent, which is the way to go. I mean, that's a reasonable thing to do. For little containers, I don't do it. But, that's not to say my way's better by any stretch.
I think doing that is better than just keeping them in cups in the store. But I think that's just like for the store, as I wouldn't bring them home and keep them in that cup.
Well, the other thing is if they're keeping bettas, that if they've got 100 cups half full of sand and keeping their bettas in them, then I'm here. I will bet that they're keeping them in a very that they're very healthy fish. It means they're feeding them live food, um, and they're providing enough substrate for any waste to get buried deeply and to not be affecting the water column. So they probably have figured out that's a way to maximize the health of the fish in limited space. A shop has to carry 50 to 100 bettas. You don't do that in 5 gallon or 10 gallon tanks, one to a tank. You don't do it. There just isn't enough space to do it. So you have to keep them in small containers.
Yeah.
And if what Ocean Aquarium has discovered is a way to do that keeps them really healthy and vibrant, then we need to pay attention to that because that makes good sense.
And it's probably a good idea.
Video when he does have the deep sand in his jars.
Who does? Who? What, Joey?
I have seen a video from Ocean Aquariums, and he does keep, it's a husband and wife team, but they keep deep sand beds in their betta jars with plants, and they're wonderful. They're absolutely healthy.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, but I don't remember there being plants in them. But yeah, I just saying it like I think it's a good thing, and they've probably figured out that they don't have to do daily water changes for those betta fish.
Right.
Absolutely.
Where Petco and stuff, they're doing daily water changes every morning.
Oh, I can tell you from having racks of bettas, there's a lot of water changes involved.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that might be a good idea if you are doing the breeding and need to separate them. There's a quick and easy way.
Right.
It doesn't take up a lot of space. Yeah, I would love to see a video of them talking about that, but I would never, like, unless I was breeding, maybe I would try to keep them in the larger.
Yeah, we ought to get Alex or Jason down there to interview them.
That would be nice. Give us like a detailed explanation of what they're doing. Got a lot of comments and trying to catch up.
Mary.
Deadford has a question at 9:19.
Who?
Deadfred at 9:19 thinks his betta fish is bloated from constipation. Ate too many shrimp.
I'm not seeing it.
He says, I believe my betta is bloated due to constipation.
I believe my betta is bloated. Well,
and he's asking how he can safely fast him.
And put a little bit of Epsom salts in the water, or garlic. Give him some garlic. Some people try peas. Just give him a chance. He probably is not bloated. He probably just overate. Give him a day or two, it should clear up. Has this been going on for a while?
I was gonna say, I think the issue is right. Trying to figure out why it's bloated. Does it have an internal infection or something going on? Trying to figure out if you're just ahead of dropsy. Are they still eating? We were talking about that the other day. There's a fine line.
Yeah, if he's still eating and still moving around, that is probably nothing constitutionally wrong. How long can I safely fast them? A week.
Oh yeah, they won't starve to death in a few.
Yeah, a week, and it should go down. If it didn't go down, then you have another problem. Try putting a little garlic in there, or some Epsom salts. That not a lot, just a tad, a pinch.
Amber's got a comment she just made about that.
Yep. She says bettas can go weeks without food. I would just stop feeding 3 to 5 days. Make sure the heat is 78 or higher, and the water parameters are good.
Right.
She's spot on.
Oh, Joey,
Terry feeds her bettas twice a day.
Yeah, Joey.
I'm sorry, Father Fish. What?
Terry's Tropicals at 919 had a question about black singletail.
Yeah, I've been talking to them in the chat a little bit, and noticed the fish, and I told her, the gentleman I got it from is no longer in business, but it is an imported fish. And I said, if you want a closer look, I have a video, so you can see more than just what
a real helpful video. Yeah.
But then they said, I don't know if anybody realizes how rare that fish is, and it is a rare fish. Yes, and that's why I keep spawning her, hoping to get some lookalikes. That's my goal.
Can you feed peas to the bettas?
Sure.
Does it constipate them?
They might eat them.
If you think it's a constipation.
I thought, peas constipated, and that was not recommended.
You can feed peas to anything if you want to. Won't hurt them.
I've heard not to. I thought it was with bettas because of constipation.
Well, I mean, they don't get anything out of it, because they're meat eaters, basically.
Right.
But if you're trying to push something through.
And that's what I've heard. And that's why I was like, I don't think you want to do peas because they do eat protein and insects. But, all right. I'm going to go. I'll see you guys.
All right. Take care, Cassie.
All right. Bye, Cassie.
Bye, Cassie. Let me know how your kitty is.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye. Love you.
So, do you see any other actual questions, Mary? It's a lot of everybody, chiming in which is
A lot of
nice.
chatting. Hey, did Thomas show up?
Oh, you were thinking about showing us the fish?
Oh, darn.
Stephen had a comment at 9:01. Said, did he hear Father Fish correct earlier? Did he say he doesn't agree with my tactics in fish keeping and health, or does? Or was just using it as an example? What I said, Stephen, is that your level of fish keeping is superior to mine in that you take a therapeutic approach, which I typically do not take. That makes what you're saying of greater value to someone who wants to apply a therapeutic approach to their fish keeping. I would at all times cede to your wisdom in such matters and seek to follow your example. So in no way am I saying anything like I don't agree with your tactics. I think your tactics are superior, are advanced, and are well worth following. And I seek to follow them myself. So please do not ever assume such a thing. It's wholly untrue.
Father Fish.
Yes.
You were saying earlier that you might be able to show us some of the fish you collected yesterday. Is that a possibility or not without Thomas?
Well, I can do it. Well, we're kind of out of time, but let me see if I can get it up, and I can do that.
You know, it doesn't have to be long. Maybe just 5 minutes, and then we can go on.
Right,
It might be fun
right.
for everybody to see them now that they're settled into the tanks, and you know. I mean, not all of us have the opportunity to go out and catch seahorses and fun things.
12:09. Today's 10. Yeah. 12:09. Sort by your videos. I don't want videos. Watch on TV. Helping feedback. Sort by. Explore. Library. Subscriptions. Home. My channel. My channel. Live chat. My channel. Live chat. My channel. Live chat. Open with Chrome. My channel. Live chat. Oh, I need to turn it on here. Enter. All right. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back here. I guess I have to turn my camera around since I don't seem to see the button to be able to reverse it.
Father Fish, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, at the middle button down below it, that cam mic. Look at the bottom. It'll say mic cam. The middle one that has the settings.
Camera.
Yeah, it will not. Yeah, cam. The middle one in the middle. Cam mic.
Cam mic.
Yeah, and it'll
Camera.
You should be able to flip it.
Yeah.
Camera.
Not the camera button, but the cam mic.
Yeah, I clicked on that and it gave me a choice between camera and mic. I now have camera
Hit
2
camera.
facing front.
Now do the.
I'm clicking and nothing is happening.
Oh, okay. Well, you're on the right spot.
Yeah.
Facing front.
It should.
Facing back.
There you go. You got it.
Perfect. Got it. Bingo.
Yay.
Ding ding.
Ding ding.
All right, so what do we got here? Here's one guy hanging out.
Going to my TV.
Did you see that?
What is it?
It's a little puffer.
Oh, okay.
Those are the little box puffers.
No, it's a smooth nose puffer. I thought they were spiny box, but they're not. See, can you hear
It's
him?
cute. Look at that.
He's cute.
Now you don't have to worry about them puffing outside of the water.
No, now what?
We'll go back down. Okay.
It's like a bobber.
Oh my gosh. Now, how big do those get?
Oh, they get about 6-8 inches.
Oh, look.
There he goes.
There he went. Neat. Oh, now, Father Fish, now that you know how to do the camera, we're going to be wanting this all the time. I'm going to my TV.
Let's see what else is here.
That was awesome. Ooh, that is a big one.
Oh, that is. Oh, it's so cute. I want to put a dental floss bridle on it.
Yeah.
I need to move him.
Yes. Now, that was one of the big ones.
Yeah, and he's not looking good.
Oh, no.
It's a female.
Might have stressed him too much.
Here. I don't see her.
Hope he does.
Let me see. Check these out.
On my TV.
It's a little pipefish.
What is this, Father Fish?
They're called pipe, P-I-P-E.
Oh, pipefish. Okay.
Pipefish. And lots of hermit crabs.
She's just so beautiful.
Let's see. There also are gobies in here. See if we can spot. There's another puffer. You see him? That's another puffer.
They're so cute. Oh, yeah. Puffer that's not puffed up.
Right. There's some starfish.
Well, there we got to see both sides of it.
See the starfish? That's what I was looking for. It's a little called an antenna goby. And then in here are some pygmy seahorses, if I can spot one. I put 5 of them in here yesterday. And I'm not seeing them. Mm. They're really tiny.
What are you looking for? I'm sorry.
Pygmy seahorses.
Okay.
They're about an inch. They're really little. And I put them in here to keep them separate so I could find them.
Yeah. Father Fish, Terry's Tanks is asking if those tanks are on a sump system.
What?
Terry's Tanks is asking if those tanks you're in right now are on a sump system. What's your system for those tanks?
Yeah. Yeah, it's about a 400-gallon system.
Okay.
What else? There's some little tiny gobies that we got that are like half an inch long. Got a bunch of them. I'm not seeing. Then we got a huge amount of hermit crabs and shrimp. The shrimp I'm not seeing. I wonder if they've gotten, some may have gotten them here. This is a fairly new system. It's not well aged, so
Okay.
it's not being as effective at sustaining life as an old system would be.
Mm-hmm. So when you say new, how new?
Well, we did a substantial purge and water change. There's a crab here. There he is. Wanted to get this guy. Crabs are. That's a little tiny blue crab.
It's cute.
Yeah. That's so neat. Oh, look. Oh, it's so cute. Makes me want crab.
This is interesting. This is a pipefish that has a belly full of babies.
A belly full of babies. Okay.
I want crabs.
Let me see if I can.
Do they carry them like a seahorse?
Yep.
Like a pouch, like a marsupial pouch?
Yep. We got them.
Wow. They're crazy.
See how swollen he is?
Yeah.
What is that? That's the pipefish?
That's a pipefish.
Yeah.
Oh, what about the tonguefish?
Hmm?
The tonguefish? Is that what
No.
it's called?
Tongue?
Tonguefish?
No.
No, I mean, are you going to show us the tonguefish is what I meant to
I
say.
don't see any.
Okay. I thought you said y'all caught some yesterday.
Well, I did. I got a couple, but I'm not sure they survived.
Oh, okay.
A lot of stuff that we caught did not survive. We got a lot of shrimp, but I don't see any of them.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Thank you, Chalupa.
So when you're done showing the fish, Terry's Tropicals was wondering,
Oh, look how little.
That's cute.
Oh, we need some, Joey. We need some seahorses. Father Fish, we need seahorses.
Maybe we could get seahorses and something to ride them around.
Yeah. Put a couple of little shrimps on them.
Right. Some little bridles.
Oh, it'd be so cute.
That's a picture.
What if they had little manes? Little manes and forelocks. Aren't they beautiful, Chalupa? They're so cute.
It is cute. So, Father Fish,
What
is there
else?
any chance Terry's Tropicals was asking about the possibility of seeing your sump? Is that
sure?
Yeah,
we
can do that.
Now we've got Father Fish on the ball. He's going to be doing this all the time.
Down and dirty. Yeah.
That's right. Aren't they, GRB? They are
It's a
so cute.
100-gallon. It's a 100-gallon sump,
Okay.
and it's running. It's running actually 4 6-foot sections. So it's 12
Okay.
foot top and bottom. It's actually 4 sections. Each one of them is 3 cells,
Yep.
and then 3 cells, and then on top it's 6 cells.
So it's
Oh,
running
that's
quite a
neat.
large system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
in back
you were.
of me, this is one of our 2 trays.
Look what Father Fish has learned, Thomas. Is that Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas is here. There he is.
Hi, Thomas.
Oh, I put them all in here. There's a shrimp. I see one shrimp.
So you were saying you reset that tank how long ago? I'm just curious
It's
because
been a
people like to know.
couple of weeks. Couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks. Okay.
This is our main tank. There's coral in it.
Is that coral? Why do you?
Yeah.
I'm not a marine tank person,
A
so
bunch
why
of
do you
fish.
keep the purple light? Is that to grow the coral?
This is a light.
That is neat.
Yeah. Do you keep it purple? Do they need that kind of light to grow the coral?
That's what I always
don't know
wondered.
about
Or is it just for the glowing effect? Or
Right. It's pretty.
yeah. How big did he say that thing was?
What?
100-gallon sump.
The whole pond, whatever you call that. Is it a
I thought
pond?
you said there were like 2.
100 gallons.
Okay. That's really cool. Now, did you have to have that custom built?
Yes.
That's what I thought. That's neat.
Yeah, I did. It's only 12 inches tall.
Right. But that's probably one of the most unique, that's one of the unique things in your shop that's just incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And this is a remarkably healthy system.
Yeah. Just look at all that.
Yeah.
Look at the clowns. Oh.
Yeah, I'll be getting an order of clowns today, as well as an order of plants and an order of turtles. So we'll try to do some box openings as we get them.
Oh, that sounds great.
Okay.
Maybe combine them all into
I know,
one.
aren't they pretty? So,
Lori Denker, thank you as always for dropping the link.
yes, Lori, you're incredible.
And anyone else, if I missed
And
them,
GRB has been dropping links. There's been several people.
Yeah,
We
say there's a
appreciate
few.
that so much.
Yeah, thank you for dropping. Anyone that has dropped links, thank you. Because I
And
know
I
it's
get-
work.
I get sidetracked when we go to the store, so I'm sorry. I'm not looking at chat very good.
Well, it's just, I know
This
it's a
is
lot
a
of work
treat.
to drop links, so we appreciate it.
So do you still have the mandarins in there, or have you gotten rid of all them?
There's one left in here. I don't see him right now.
That's the reason you have success with that, is because it's so established for those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had octopuses?
I don't think he heard you.
No. We had an
Father
octopus
fish?
one time.
Well, they are escape artists, so I think
Yes,
they keep
Callie
them
had
in
one in her tank.
different tanks.
Thank you,
Yeah.
GRB. Gosh, I've been in the worst funk of all.
Or squids or anything?
He might not can hear us now.
He's not hearing us.
Yep. I know. I think I've seen a starfish one time in there, in one of the other videos.
Starfish are cool, and they can be so pretty. It's
Yes,
crazy.
just
And
such
even-
neat animals. What
Yeah,
about
and the
sand
shrimp.
dollars? I wonder if anybody's ever kept sand dollars in some kind of aquarium setup.
I mean, I don't see why you couldn't, but I think they're beautiful. I just don't want to do it. But
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the work and the beauty, and
Hey, mainly bettas.
it's so cool.
Well, you made it just in time, mainly bettas, to see some of the fish shop,
Yeah.
which is actually Father Fish's fish room. So all these people that have fish rooms, haha,
Yeah.
look at this one.
His is a giant fish one.
Oh.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still here. We can hear you.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Well,
Oh, we can still hear you fine.
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Mary and I were talking.
The only thing I ask is if you ever kept octopuses or.
Let's wait till he gets back on the big screen. I think he's getting feedback.
That was neat.
Oh, that was you. I don't know.
Just click off your phone.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
Okay.
Bossy women.
You know, don't worry. When you weren't talking, Mary and I were. We have no problem stuff.
Right.
It was great, Father Fish. It was wonderful.
It was.
You did such a great. Oh, here we go. Carrie's
We were wondering if you ever keep any octopus. I know they're hard to keep in a tank.
I have, yeah. I don't have any right now, but I have kept them, and I'm able to keep them pretty well. In fact, I had some spawn at one point, and had 1,000 babies. So they're not hard to keep.
Just answered, since you and I don't know anything, Mary. Chevy Fish just answered and said that sand dollars are actually remains of a type of sea urchin.
That's correct.
Which Mary and I didn't know.
Have you ever had sand dollars, Father Fish?
Come again?
I said, can sand dollars live in an aquarium?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they stay under the sand, so you never see them.
Right, but they are possible.
Yeah, I've kept them. I probably had some in there because they'll live for a long time.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I've got a whole thing of sand dollars that we used to decorate our Christmas tree with.
I have a petrified one that I got from my sister's store that I keep in a tank.
Yep.
Does that count?
We went to Kiowa Island in Charleston, and if you walked on the beach, the whole beach was covered in them. I'm talking about thousands.
I know, it's amazing.
Yep. So every year, my mom and I set up a beautiful Christmas tree, and we had them all strung on little ribbons, and we covered the whole tree in white sand dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that was pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway,
morning,
it's
Chevy.
fun to see. So
Love you, Lee.
I had a question because I don't know anything about the marine stuff. Why do you keep the purple light? Is that to grow the coral, or is it to show it off? Like Mary said, is it to show it off?
It does. Yeah. It does help with the color, so it makes it look better. Okay. Yeah, it's not critical for growth.
Okay, that's what we were
wondering. It's a display tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, cool.
Is it ultraviolet though? Like a blue light? I know it's purple, but is it like a blue light?
Right.
Makes it glow?
I've got red, yellow, blue.
Okay.
Red, yellow, blue, white. Yeah, it's a combination.
Okay. That was really nice. Thank you.
You bet.
And Mary and I, we're gonna tack up the seahorses. We're gonna get some shrimp, riding them. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Some crabs, little crabs.
Or some crabs.
They can hold the reins with their little fingers.
And crowns, because we need to look good. Some bedazzled
absolutely.
crowns on our seahorses.
Important to do that, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lee, you're gonna be fine, my love. You're gonna be fine. If y'all knew what kind of funk I've been in over the past couple days, it's been a bad one. I mean, it's been bad, but I'm finally coming out of it, I think.
You're making me guilty. I feel like I shouldn't be feeling good.
Please feel good, because I need it. I need to absorb that.
Right. All right.
He says, "See y'all later. I'm getting rid of you."
Bye, all.
Bye.
Love you.
It's out of here. Okay.
I'm just not doing anything.
Chair dancing.
Chair dancing.
That's what old women do. We don't do the other kind of dancing. We do chair dancing.
That's right.
We ain't old. I'm just kidding.
She does better chair dancing. look for that answer, but they're gone.
Have a good day.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good
Fish.
and the bad things that may be. Let's talk
There's a
about
fish face. Come on, Thomas.
talk about fish.
Get Thomas and Boogie on over there. Thank you for all your help today. Thank you, everybody.
What a salad. Bye, guys.
More.